CWWK sent me a NAS motherboard for a review, so let me take it out of the box and see what I have got there. The package content starts with a warranty card, and this one is actually in English, and the package came to me from Germany, so I suspect that some sort of warranty in Europe might be valid. Then we also have two business cards. One is from CWWK and another one from Emmy, the business director, who actually contacted me and sent me this item for a review. I thought they're gonna send me a motherboard, but this quick start manual shows here diagrams of some sort of a firewall or mini PC. In reality, as I requested, I have got a NAS Mini-ITX motherboard, and they also packed me with these U2 to SATA cables, which I actually need because I don't have such one for testing. So this one, U2 or whatever it is called, is getting split into 4 SATA ports, and it's very convenient. A part of the motherboard, or under the motherboard, we also have the I/O shield, and I/O shield is padded and painted, so it feels really nice. And here we can already see some specs. So the motherboard has a 10 gig Ethernet and two 2.5 gig Ethernet adapters, also USB Type-C, which seems to be exceptionally well for the price of this motherboard. If I remember correctly, this motherboard was very competitively priced, but I don't exactly remember how much it was. I will put, of course, link and the price on the screen after editing the video. Now let's take a look at the motherboard itself. So it's obviously Mini-ITX with a built-in CPU, and in this particular case I have Intel N150, but there are other different options. These Intel CPUs come with 4 efficient cores and only single DDR5 channel. That's why we have single DDR5 slot for mobile SODIMMs. In terms of connectivity, it's actually pretty rich. We have 2 M.2 slots, but since the CPU does not have enough PCI Express lanes, I believe this will be limited to PCI Express X1. Then we also have an M.2 slot to install Wi-Fi Bluetooth adapter. Here we have additional PCI Express X1 standard slot for more SATA ports or maybe some other expansion card, and these two U2 ports are expanded into 4 SATA ports. So in total we get 8 SATA ports. In terms of USB, it is also pretty good. Over here we have USB Type-C header for the front panel, USB Type-A 3.0 header for the front panel. Then on board we get a USB 2 header or USB 2 slot, so you can inject your USB flash drive straight into here. And I believe over here we also have 2 USB 2 headers for the front panel. Usually such motherboards come with just 1 header for the front panel, but this one has 2 and I like that. In terms of power, we have the standard 24-pin ATX power connector, and here we have 4-pin CPU power connector. I am not sure if we have to use both of these, because sometimes this 4-pin power connector can be used as a DC power without ATX power connector, or maybe we need to use both of them just like with a regular motherboard. For the fan headers, we have only one CPU fan header, which is already preoccupied with this tiny fan for the tiny CPU cooler we have pre-installed. And over here we have an additional 4-pin PWM fan header for system fans. On the other side of the motherboard, I believe we don't have anything interesting. The motherboard is pretty much empty on the other side, so all the connectivity is at the front and the rear of the motherboard. So let's take a look at the rear I/O of the motherboard. Here we have 2 USB 2 ports and 2 USB 3 ports. One of them is USB Type-C, another one is USB Type-A. Then we have HDMI display port. This tiny one is a clear CMOS button. And then we have 3 Ethernet ports. The first one is 10 gigabit Ethernet and the other 2 are 2.5 gigabit Ethernet adapters. So in terms of Ethernet connectivity, this seems to be very good. In addition, we here have a slot for micro SD cards, and I don't know if this is just some sort of a service port for BIOS updates or system management, or it is actually a fully functional card reader. If it's a fully functional card reader, then this can also be used to boot your system instead of this USB 2 port. USB flash drives might be less reliable than microSD cards of high quality, so the microSD card can be used as a booting device if you wish to use your M.2 slots over here and the SATA slots for your storage or cache devices. Now, if you're interested in the detailed review of this CWWK Mini-ITX NAS motherboard with Intel N150 CPU on board, then please follow me on the main channel. The review will be published there. For now, that's pretty much all I can tell about the motherboard. It looks nice, it has lots of connectivity, but I have no idea what kind of BIOS features we have, what kind of power consumption we have, and what kind of stability issues we will get or will not get.